Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for July 2020. This is going to be for Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Rising. You may have planets in the sign of Aquarius. You may be cross-watching for an Aquarius, or you're intuitively guided to the channel and you don't have Aquarius and you don't know that you have Aquarius in your chart. Whatever brought you, I just want to thank you and want to say welcome. We're going to do an intuitive tarot read. It's funny. It's like, there's our cards. Okay, so we're starting with the deck of major arcanas. This is just to give us a baseline of what's going on, what energy we might need to consider, that type of thing. And then I'm going to bring in the psychic tarot for you because I truly, you're one of my favorite signs to do. Because I find your readings always so interesting, deep, analytical, fantasy, it's all in there. And so as a reader, definitely one of my favorite readings to do. I'm going to ask you before we begin, though, to take a moment and just to relax yourself, calm your mind. You can do that through a little bit of deep breathing. That's how I do it. Just inhale through the nose, positivity, the light, and exhale the dark. Don't worry about calling your spirit guides in. I feel my team is always great at reaching your guides. No matter when you see the reading, by the way, I was going to say the movie, so chances are it's going to play like a movie, which I love. Doesn't matter when you see it, especially if you feel nudged to turn it on, then you need to trust that, right? Trust that feeling that there's a sign, there's something here that's going to help you along your path. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. So we have the Hierophant, which is a card of Taurus. We're not really looking at signs, as people. This is about the energy up top, but I know you like for me to name it also, so I will. We have Temperance, which is a card of Sagittarius. And then we have the High Priestess. I feel like the High Priestess is a mix of everyone, right? It's about your intuition. And I feel like it's about, for someone, probably more than one, I feel like you see something coming, right? You feel something is coming. You feel like it is for your good. The best thing for you, that type of thing. I'm just noticing the stars behind her all of a sudden. It's like she's granting wishes, right? In front of her is Temperance. Temperance says patience. Patience where we put whatever this is together in the most divine way we can. And that's why a lot of times Spirit says release an outcome, right? Release how something must look to you, because when you have all this higher energy involved, which is at all times, whether we use it or we don't is up to us. This can only, I often feel like it's better than what I could dream, right? But it looks different. Sometimes it looks different. It's not in the package that I expect it to be in. So this is where my intuition plays a major, major role in my life, because, here I am making these wishes, hoping, which is, I was going to say star card, but star card's not here, though I see all those stars, so wishing upon a star. And, it's in due time. I feel like in due time. And the Hierophant seems to be putting a blessing upon this. So I feel like whatever we're going to unreveal or reveal today, there's a blessing already upon it. So there's like a blessing upon your wishes. Why limit it to one, right? We can make as many wishes as we choose, and and someone may be wanting things to move quicker than they are, but I feel like that is also like in its due time, right? It's best for me to allow it to divinely come to me. I want to use the word safe, like, that's how I keep myself safe, but I don't mean it in a sense, well, maybe I do, like so much physically. I'm looking at the High Priestess, and she looks like she has the moon, right? Like a crescent moon above her third eye, perhaps. So this may be energy that's also affected by the moon. We'll see. Number 11, that's popping out to me. You may be a master number 11. You certainly don't have to. There's 5 that's standing out. Okay, let's get into the next part of the reading, which I call it the meat and potatoes. I'm going to use, again, the Psychic Tarot for you guys. This is a deck that I am still learning, but intuitively, they just sing to me. You know what I mean? Like, it can look at a card and it can give me a completely different energy than what the meaning is. That's releasing the outcome. That's going with the flow, and that's what I do. That's what I do for you. That's what I do for you. I feel like someone's redoing an old home, and, it may be a slow process. It's like I see you at, like, not antique shop, well, maybe antique shops, yeah. But it's like you're looking for special pieces from maybe a certain era. I feel like you can find everything to make your home the way you want it, but again, in due time. So maybe that piece that I've been searching for, what's Temperance talking about? Well, the person who owns that piece right now hasn't made the decision to give it up yet, right? But we'll make that decision, and it will, chances, end up at that antique shop that you go to, and therefore, okay. The Hierophant is about our self-beliefs, higher beliefs, right? This is the energy where we're not talking down to ourselves. It's an energy we strive for. It's a 5, so it talks about change. But nonetheless, I can tell whatever coming is being blessed. I was going to say, they're all looking right at me, but the Hierophant is not. The Hierophant is looking at Temperance. And I'm noticing that Temperance has her back to the High Priestess, almost like, when I turn, it'll be time. Now she's looking at me, like her body is, you just tell by the angle of her body, it's like her head's already looking at me, but her body has to follow, and that may be the time. So, this flipped itself around, and it is obstacles and challenges. Obstacles and challenges, but it's in reverse. And, what's this person doing? He's walking right through it. He's walking right through these challenges. He's walking right through these obstacles. It's like the opposite energy of fear, which is courage. You know, like this is someone who has made the decision to face those fears head on. Um, and you know, here's the blessing over that. So I like that. That's a bold move. I feel like that's a bold move, but it is definitely a move that we all have to take, right? Instead of putting a blindfold on, well, there's our energy of courage. So we have what's called power in this deck. This is the strength card, card of Leo. Half man, half tiger. We have the tower. Now, I have to say, these two were reversed, and I think maybe that's the way I should keep them. So, we have the tower, and then we have the Eight of Swords, which is also came reversed. So, first of all, this answers a question to you. You know, what's some of the obstacles I've had? The tower, right? And because of these towers, right? Maybe I didn't see them coming. But I feel like temperance is right above that. So, you know, we definitely learned within that. And it's definitely showing an energy of probably for some time being in the energy of the Eight of Swords. And that is that blindfold. That's what the Eight of Swords is. It's that blindfold because we don't want to face something, right? We don't want to face the truth. It could be about ourselves, another. It's protection, you know, but it's false. It's false, and we know this, yet we still do it, right? So you have a lot of energy of, first of all, being blessed. And what this is showing me is how, you know, here it was in this Eight of Swords energy, and again, what's after the eight? The nine of swords. That is anxiety. That is depression. So here I am building up the walls. I'm forgetting about who I am, and you know, I wasn't believing in faith and what have you. I wasn't listening to my intuition. So temperance gets involved, right? This is divine. This is, you know, recognition over the tower. Number one. You know, it's like spirit saying, we know, you know, the tower, we know the towers that have happened, we know exactly why you put yourself in the Eight of Swords energy, but on the other side of that is the energy of courage, right? It's the eight, as above, so below, the connection, right? So that tells me spiritual help. Well, here's the blessing above it. I feel like for some, the beginning of the blessing was getting you in some way to take that blindfold off, because that's exactly what I feel in the Five of Swords reversed. Is I took a blindfold off and I faced it head on. And I have to tell you, it's almost always not nearly as but the outcome or what we think will happen is almost always never as bad as we make it to be in our mind. And here's a lot of sword energy that's anchoring this line, right? Due to the towers. Due to the towers in your life. You know, and I feel like the eight, I'm seeing the eight, right? It's feeling like infinity. Like, you know, these challenges are not going to stop. This is what you're here for, right? To learn how to overcome and walk through these challenges. And I feel like once I have the awareness, and I feel like that's what temperance is waiting for some of you, once I have that awareness, and you have, or you will be very soon, um, it just seems like everything changes. I change. My intuition becomes front and center. It's almost like I'm seeing that crescent moon again, like I'm fearful. I was fearful of the unknown, right? I was fearful of the unknown. And here's the Hierophant on the other end saying, you know, my child, there's no need. There's no need. And you take off that blindfold. Beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. Some of you, it meant walking away from people, walking away from situations, walking away from, let's look at the Hierophant right above that. That can be some of the things I needed to deal with, because this is very mental energy, was, you know, some of those things I've told myself, those, you know, that I started to believe that I was no good, that I can't have it, that it's not going to happen for me, all that stuff. It's becoming aware of oneself. And not just that, but the importance of you. You know, you're unique. Oh, excuse that truck 1 second. Right? Each is unique. We have the Hermit. It says solitude in this deck. And, you know, she's reading. She's reading, and she's got the book wide open. So we know a lot about the Hermit. First of all, it is a card of Virgo. But I kind of love that the Five of Swords reversed is right above it, because this is about reflection. The 9 is about reflection. And the Hermit is the understanding, right? I seek the understanding of, you know, maybe why I keep repeating a pattern. The 8, I feel like I keep repeating it, you know, going through the Hermit mode, which is really, it feels like the dark night of the soul. Here's the Tower. Probably took some time to get you there. You know, here it's an 8 right to a 9. But I feel like, you know, we're in different lines. It took a little bit of time to get you to start seeking, you know, the true answers of what put you there, and what keeps putting you there time after time, right? Because I take the blindfold off. It's like the book of knowledge. It's wide open for you. I feel like some of you, I definitely feel the connection of a Virgo and an Aquarius. We have the universe. Definitely came in reverse. That's the World card. In reverse. So what does that tell us? Well, kind of what Temperance is telling us, that we got to take a minute, right? We got to take a minute. We've got to be willing to seek the true answers, right? Because the 8 of Swords, it's self-created energy, so I can uncreate it. You know, I don't need anybody to get me out of the 8 of Swords except for me, right? It's all about me, and so is the Hermit. You know, I feel like this. I feel a lot of times this is when we really start to add our spirituality within our life. So the World card comes in reverse, and I feel like what it's saying is, you know, it can be a couple things. It can be a refusal to allow yourself out of this energy, but it is reverse. So I feel like all it's saying is, for some of you, you know, for many of you, you may be in that Hermit energy, you know, and it's also where I truly learned to trust signs. What am I doing? I'm seeking the light, right? I'm seeking the light. I'm in the dark. I feel like I'm in the dark. So I'm seeking the light, and as I seek it, I will find it. You know, it's almost like a guarantee you will find it, but you got to seek it, right? And as you seek it, it'll expand till eventually, you know, what you learn in the Hermit mode, you can then you definitely use it in the outside world, but you also help others in that energy. So, you know, I have an 8 and an 8, but one of the 8s is in reverse, with the tower in between. We have prosperity begins. Look at that. So, look at that. Here's these towers, right? These towers that happen in our lives, whatever they are, they're going to be different. We all have our crosses to bear. And just human nature is the swords, I feel, right? Where we start to believe this and believe that about ourselves, and we start to have self-doubt and all of that, right? You know, we're afraid to look in the mirror, we're afraid to face something head on, and so we keep ourselves in this energy, right? We keep that blindfold on, we keep it on. And it's shown directly connected to these, you know, pivotal times in your life. I feel like these are times, just like the happiest times, you know, these times stand out too, right? They've made their imprint on the fabric of life. So they're there. Um, Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. Then we look down here and prosperity begins. Like, this is the Ace of Pentacles. This is something that comes into your world that is tangible. This isn't about a fantasy, you know. This is about something that's tangible in your life. So let's keep going. You know, what it looks like to me is I've kept myself in a negative energy for a long time. A long time. But boy, have I learned a lot. And I feel like it was towards the end of that energy, right? I mean, you know, it almost feels like, where else am I going to seek? I got to start seeking within myself, right? We have the Three of Swords. Three Swords. 8, 9, 10, 11. We have memories of love. 6 of Cups. And look at this, we have the 7 of Cups. Choose wisely. So, feels like to me, you know, here is, you know, you're getting a few blessings, right? You're getting a blessing within your mind so you can figure this out, like finally figure it out, and take off the blindfold and walk through that challenge. Don't fear it. Walk through it, because, you know, Spirit is saying that you will get through it. You can get through it, and you've been getting through these challenges in your life. You know, whether you recognize it or not, you have gotten through challenges, you know, and lifetimes of it. So then you look at the power card, half man, half tiger. I'm thinking the tiger of the Wizard of Oz, right? Because I'm thinking the word courage, and that's what he was seeking. He was seeking courage. He was seeking courage. So the universe kind of just puts a hold on everything, right? Puts a hold on everything. Why? Because Temperance says everything's not exactly where it needs to be, and I don't want to use the word exact, you know, but it's not done. It's not to fulfillment. It's getting there, right? It's getting there. So it's the energy of looking within. Looking within. All my answers lie within. Definitely lie within. And I feel like that is why you're not moving forward yet in something. But then it's like when you have the awareness, then the world opens up, because here is the ace, right? That is the beginning. That is the blessing. And it's interesting, the three of swords is there. And I feel like what it's saying is, because of the Three of Swords is why I was in the Eight of Swords energy. Three of Swords is heartache, for whatever reason. And that heartache, right, trapped in fear, that's a self-created prison. Think about that, a prison. Like, I lock myself in this room. It's just what it is, right? Some of you, you're spending too much time in bed. And it's, if you're not here yet, what you're doing is you're in your mind, right? Because I have a feeling something's coming down here. And I know that you want it. I know that there's a blessing upon you, more than one. So again, this pain is what I don't want to face, maybe. Right? It kept me in that energy. But the majority of you have already transpired. Is that the word? Transformed from that. Okay. It's like the world card is in reverse, because someone may be like ready to do something that's not the best for them, right? Because after all, it is your choice, right? Some of you, this is talking about someone of the past. We go right from the 6 to the 7. So this could be like a reconnection. Pick up, like pick it up, like pick it right back up where we left off at. 6, 7, 8, 9. I just want 2 more. 2 more. Some of you, this can certainly be over twin flame energy, I have to tell you. It could certainly be, and, I have to tell you, like, I know the story of twin flames, and many times when, they may meet and something is ignited within them, but then they go on their separate journeys, right? A lot of times they go on their separate journeys because they're meant to go on. They're meant to have different experiences. They're similar, but different. And, why? Because eventually they are going to hold that mirror up to each other, and it's really about learning off each other. Someone asked me a question, can your twin be an opposite? And I believe that yes, absolutely. They can be of the same sign, but they can be of an opposite, And sometimes an opposite, like Pisces and Virgo, where would, let's say, Virgo lack the most? That would be in the cup department. Not that they can't love. They love very deeply and loyal, well, most, right? But it's showing the emotion, where Pisces can very easily show the emotions and maybe sometimes needs to pull back. So learning that, if you have 2 willing participants who understand that and they're learning that, then you grow, right? But if you don't get it, right? If we're trapped in our own mind, then there's going to be conflict. and there will be a split up. And I feel like because it just wasn't time. It wasn't time yet. I find that twins will marry other people. And I think that it's meant to be to experience. You know, it's all about the experience. And really, what you're doing is you're learning what my soul wants, what my soul doesn't want, what I feel good around, what I feel bad around, trusting. Above all, being able to trust in that, all that. Okay, we have new beginnings. So we have the Fool coming over this Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. And the Fool's the perfect person to come out right now for you. With the Five of Cups, I'm sorry, the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Tower reversed. It's the perfect card to come out for you because that is absolutely, you know, I'm just not living that way anymore. Truly, I am not living that way anymore. And I feel like, again, the blessing, which is that realization, and then this actual Ace of Pentacles is something in your world that allows you to start something new, right? But I'm not dragging anything with me here. What's connected to it is the Six of Cups. So for some of you, this is an old love. This is someone that I had, you know, when I think about them and I'm not in my negative headspace, I have some very good memories, right? Some very loving type memories. And certainly they could be coming back, right? I feel like sometimes when I see 9, I think you're so close to the 10, and, you know, a 9 sometimes feels like a repeat to me. You know, a repeat. I don't know. But anyways, so I feel like the world, we have movement, choices, and decisions. And that is in reverse. I feel like if anyone is asking you to move, the answer is no. I feel like, you know, movement, choices, decisions. I feel like someone's saying, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not there. Like the Seven of Cups, I have to choose wisely. Why? Because some of them are going to be cups of temptation. Some of them are going to be something that may pull me back down into the tower type energy. But some are just beautiful and of the light, right? Of the light. Maybe it's not the person I thought, but it is a person that will love me, right? Because we have temperance here, putting this together with the blessing right over it. So someone who will love me deeply and I will love them deeply. Do I want to miss that experience, right? But anyway, I feel like at this moment, I feel like someone is saying, yeah, you know, maybe they're not saying no to this person, but they're not, you know, I feel like someone asked someone to move in with them, and I feel like the answer is no. And the reason why is because maybe I haven't been in a single status, or I haven't had my own place in such a long time, that type of thing. I want to spend time in it. Excuse me. I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. That's a lot of cards. Much more than I planned, but there they are. We have Triumph. Triumph. That is the Chariot. That is, you know, I do feel like I have a few twin flamers. That's probably not the right word. Twin flame couples. And I do feel that energy. And I feel like that because I feel like that's talking about the divine and the divine masculine, the divine feminine. We'll see. Okay. We'll choose Cosmic Tarot. I have a lot of cards. Not that I have that many cards, just that they're large cards. You know, I'm looking at just 3 swords with the 8 of swords above it, and I feel like I'm looking at 2 separate people here. And I feel like there is someone who, maybe not any longer, or may be, and it may be a twin flame, but it may not be. But anyway, I feel like I have one person who is in that pain, right? They're still in that pain, and I feel like the other partner, who I feel like probably caused this pain through the Tower, you know, maybe I'm leaving you, baby. You know, I found someone else. I don't know. I don't have cards of cheating. I want you to know that. But anyway, you know, they could have been drinking a lot. Anyway, I feel like one person is in the pain of it. And I feel like the other person is in the regret of it, right? And I feel like they both individually lock themselves up. One, the regret, and the other, I still feel the pain, right? It's there. At least, if nothing else, I remember it. Maybe you don't feel it, because, you know, again, things are reversed here. But I don't know. That person may come back, and they may tell you that they've been in their own little prison. And it's because of what they've done to you, right? And it's the regret of it. It's why? Because they know they've caused you pain. It's because of the pain. And they know that. You know, and then I see the High Priestess above that, so it definitely tells me that they know that. You know, but here's the Tower. It's in reverse, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles, so it's almost like life begins again. Life begins again. Alright, we have the Prince of Cups. I don't have a lot of room. It's funny, I just got this desk, but I was online earlier looking at other desks because I feel like I want a wooden desk. I get the one I had, but it was so hard to put together. Jennifer and I worked on it. Oh my god, it was an all-day project. And nothing fit the way, so it was hard to get together, but it was worth it, but I don't want to do it again. Okay. We have the Chariot. So again, we have the Chariot coming over the card of the Hierophant. We have the King of Swords, potential Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You know, this can certainly talk about someone's truth, right? Someone speaking their truth. So I do feel like for some of you, it is about someone who is coming back. And it may, when I say coming back, it may just be in communication. Even though I do have the Chariot, like, twice. And in both of these, like, they're going fast. What's connected to, you know, what's in between both the Chariots, the Prince of Cups? Well, the Prince of Cups is about bringing in an offer. Bringing in a cup of fulfillment, right? And this Prince is sitting over the Five of Swords, obstacles and challenges, but in reverse. So it could very well talk about the other person, the person who's not watching, having that realization, right? Also, because he's connected to all of this, right? He's connected right down through the Hermit into the Six of Cups. Well, let's keep going. There's that Three of Swords. So, I mean, you have Temperance connected to this Three of Swords, talking about the timing, right? When something feels right to talk about. Maybe it is the Tower with someone. But you also have Temperance in a way because she's about patience. There needs to be a healing over this. And maybe that's exactly what the Hierophant's doing. I'm calling it a blessing, but maybe it's also a healing. Right, a healing of the heart. But not just the heart, because I often feel, because it's swords, it's something I think about. I think about it, and I think about it, and I think about it. And because I think about it, and I think about it, I think about it, that is part of what puts me in the Eight of Swords energy. It's not a good energy. But the High Priestess is right there. So the High Priestess, I feel, is stronger than your mental energy. But you got to be seeking it too at the same time. Well, there you go. So she's a seeker of knowledge, I feel. The High Priestess is coming between the Three Swords and this Princess of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, perhaps. But definitely what the High Priestess is saying is, what are you learning right now, my dear? You're learning about your intuition, and you're learning about how it will help you in your future. It is a lesson, and I don't mean like, that sounds like mean, because what are you talking about? This heartache is a lesson? Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what I'm saying. But nonetheless, what does it do? It puts you in the energy of seeking something that you probably wouldn't have sought otherwise, and that may be just like what happened to me years and years ago. You go into the hermit mode, right? Because I'm in the Three of Swords, and then I go into the hermit mode. Well, that is where the healing, right? The blessing and the healing takes place. So, I feel like this is like on my way there. I think I'm going to pick these up because I totally get what they are. Maybe we'll keep those two out. And let's look at the second line. Well, look, really the first line. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. So right there, I feel like that's a loss. I feel like, it's a loss, maybe of my own money, maybe of money. I definitely feel like, at least I feel like it felt like a loss. I want to tell you something, though. I feel like this is also saying, for someone, or many of you, that when there was a split up, whether it be from a lover or a job, well, when there was a split up, this time period in between where I'm in the Eight of Swords energy, the higher energy doesn't stop working just because we do, right? Just because we choose, like, not to deal with it. That higher energy is still around us. And what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is how earlier talked about a lesson. I do feel like because of that time period, right, the split up, let's say, time period, I ended up creating something of my own. In a way, not in a way, but I found my independence. Now, when I say independence, that doesn't mean I have a complete refusal of love in the future, because I'm not living spiritually if I say that I'm not going to allow myself to experience love again. But that's not a spiritual life, right? But that's your choice. Anyway, I feel like during that split up also, you were led, let's say, nudged to certain people, certain situations that may have taught, I feel like may have taught you something new, yet I feel like this is something that's very rooted. So, something you're very good at. It caused you to create. Maybe someone had all the money and they left you high and dry, and COVID-19, I couldn't get out there and get a job, so I created a job. I created a job. And what I feel above that is like this higher type of energy. So it starts you on a path that, I just feel like you would have never expected. Like you just didn't expect. And I feel like if you're open to the energy, you feel who was meant to come in, whether they were there for a second, a brush of the skin, or whether they're there for the rest of your life. Um, you start to become aware of, like, maybe not immediately, but, maybe like an hour later, you can be like, oh, okay, now I figure, because here I am at this place, and here is this, where who would have thought? But because I bumped into this guy who made me take a right instead of a left, I'm now at this place, and look, who would have thought? You know what I mean? That's just the way I feel like life works. Um, if we allow it. If we allow it. We could have been like, F you, mister, and still pushed your way over, right? But then you would have missed this. Anyway, I'm just saying, um, it's definitely, I have to say one more thing. I'm definitely feeling the energy of the spirit warrior, which is the Five of Pentacles. That's one of the ways you describe it, but it's also coming over the Strength card. So I feel like, that may be why I love doing Aquarius' reading, is because I feel like there's a real deepness to you. A real deepness. I don't feel like you're not someone who's just going to sit there and talk and talk and talk about surface level things, right? You like to get into it. And anyway, so that time period, it brought you something that you can be thankful for. I don't know what it is. It may have something to do with your money. It may be a business you decided to create. Um, hmm. You may have left where you were, like relocated yourself. We have the Three of Pentacles. So that's a beautiful collaboration. That's the energy of people accepting me for who I am, my unique self. It's a reminder to myself, right? Um, each person has their own part to play. And it's important that I allow, them to be them and me to be me. I feel like I'm doing a love reading, but I also feel like at the same time, um, I feel like through the ashes, I feel like something was created. You created, okay? It's from your doing, even if you had the nudging of your guides, because you also have the energy of a guardian angel beside you. And again, you have the energy of soulmates, different soulmates, just entering when they need to. That type of energy. We have the Queen of Swords. She is a potential Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She has the Lovers behind her. And I only say that because they're somewhat like hidden, like kind of out of sight. So, well, look at this. We have the Nine of Swords. But the Nine of Swords is coming in the upright. And I feel like someone might be worried about what they may say. Let's keep going. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming over the Hermit. You know, I definitely feel like within that type of energy, I am learning so much. I'm learning. You know, I feel like as a soul, we make a decision whether you know, what type of life we want to have. Like one of a lot of difficulty, which you know is the one that gives you the most expansion. It's just the way it is. And when you are in spirit form, you think life is just a blimp. You know, I can handle that, right? But I'm going to learn. I'm going to expand from the experience if I allow myself. I often feel like karma is when we deny ourselves, right? But yeah, maybe it's like you signed a contract type of thing, so it's going to come around again. Anyway, um, so the Seven of Pentacles to me is also the energy of patience, right? It's about my seeds of intention. Look at this. We have the Ten of Cups. And then, hello, Sun card. So, card of Leo. So, as this relates to love, I feel like right now, at this point, what it's saying is we have the potential of Ten of Cups, but this is not about moving quickly in something. I'm getting that a lot. Now, it may be the retrogrades. I don't know. Um, but it's about taking our time. It's a reminder to make sure you are yourself. You know, Mercury is in retrograde, so this is happening to you right now. I don't want to say watch your tongue as in you don't have a right to say anything you want to say, but you don't want to create regret for yourself. That's all. Um, because there's a potential, and that is your seed of intention. And listen, if that is your seed of intention, to me, then it will be, right? The only thing that will stop it at that point is my free will choices. Like down here, the Fool. I don't feel like the Fool is saying no to anyone. I feel like the Fool is saying, I'm going to spend a little time in this Nine of Pentacles before I say yes or no to this commitment. Um, but then it just, I don't know, it feels joyful. We have the Eight of Swords again, but we have the Ace of Wands over that. And I almost feel like this is a conversation being had. I feel like it's two people talking about, you know, communicating about each, you know, their perspective on what happened. Because you got to remember, you know, there's probably two different perspectives, right? One person I had up here was sitting in the energy of regret, the regret of hurting someone. And the other person was the receiving recipient of the hurt, of the pain. But then we have the Ace of Wands above that. So I feel like this is, you saying, listen, again, it's not that whether I'm saying yes or no, it's that I'm willing to take the journey, right? I'm not going to commit. I don't feel like there's a commitment. Maybe the other party is asking for a commitment, but I don't feel like you are saying yes or no at this moment. You're saying maybe. You know, maybe I might. I read the pain in my heart. It's though I don't think about it every day anymore. It's still there. You know, it's a scar that will never go away. And and the other person's like, and I know that, and I have regretted it every single day, right? I feel like this person may feel they don't have a chance, um, with you, but I feel like they go forward anyway. Um, and why? Because I feel like they're going on instinct, not just instinct, but that's part of it. It's probably, well, definitely because they love you. No, otherwise, why would they be sitting in this regret? And I have to say something again because we have different perspectives. Um, maybe they live right around you, and it certainly didn't look like they were living in regret. We don't know what goes on inside of someone, right? We don't know. We just don't know. And I'm not trying to sway you one way or another. I'm only giving you another perspective. Um, we just don't know. And I feel like there's something has changed about you. Now, it may be in how you make your money. You may be in a spiritual type business because we have a lot of spiritual type energy here. And, you have no intentions of stopping that. Because I'm feeling this down here as the Fools, I'm feeling a very strong type energy. The Fools are really kind of happy-go-lucky type energy. And I feel that to a point. But I feel more there's like a determination here. All right, let's keep going. With the Four of Pentacles coming over, solitude, which again is the Hermit, and the and memories of love. Four of Pentacles is a pretty solid card. We have the Devil, which is the card of Capricorn. We have the Eight of Wands. Someone's trying to move it too quickly. We have the Princess of Wands, which is the perfect card to come out on the Fool because she's the princess that I mean, if I was the father of or just the mother of all the princesses of the suits, she's the one that I would um, probably have the most worry over as a mother because she's someone who moves towards her desires. She's someone who is learning to put herself first, right? She is about her passions. This is someone who's willing to walk on a passionate road. Matter of fact, probably prefers that. She's not afraid. Here I feel like this is someone who isn't afraid of the bumps in the road. Um, so this is like a new type of attitude, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We have the Three of Cups. That's a celebration of joy. And it is a celebration of connection. And I have to say, I do feel like there's someone out there who this is happening to in some way. Like, understand this is giving you one way, but then you're looking at it with your own perspective, with your own lens. Anyway, I feel like there's someone out there who is just saying, I've come to a place where I've become independent and, like I'm enjoying my friends, right? I'm enjoying my friends. Am I? Is a question even, I don't know that it's even a question. I feel like that's just where I'm at. Um, and, it's almost like she would say to this person coming back, I'll know when the time is right. Trust me, I'll know when the time is right. So maybe you're testing this person in a way to see if their energy matches their words. Um, and that's when you want to make sure, which this is the energy you're moving into, where your intuition is on fire. It's on fire. The only thing I want to say is be careful of the retrogrades. Remember that sometimes this planet, like Mercury retrograde can put us in a type of mood that we can get ourselves out of, by the way. It's just the realization. We can change anything with the realization of the truth. Anyway, I definitely feel like someone is just saying, I'm going to slow it down. I want to see, and you may not even say it to that person, but might be how you do it. Like, I'm going to go ahead. Almost like telling someone they have to date you again, which I think is a great idea. Like, if all this is true of what you say, then I'm hoping that I'm worth the effort. Now, that's not you being a snob back to them, because what's the point, right? This is to see if it can work again. You have the 10 of Cups, so I feel like the potential, but the 10 is about two fives, right? Each putting their part into it. It has to be. It can't be a one-sided thing here. So the potential is here, and I feel like ultimately it's the seed that I planted. But here I'm taking my time. Why? Because I want to make sure, I feel like for some of you, that I can trust you again, whether that be your word, or everything. Okay, I'm going to pull these up. I feel like that is that, because we get to a point where it's completely up to you, right? It's your free will, but it's your seat of attention at the same time. And maybe part of life is learning the difference, what the difference is. All right, I want to do an oracle card for you, for sure. I don't know why I feel like I got to clean these up first, but I don't put reversals in my deck, so when a reversal comes up and I feel it, they're really reversed, because I don't put them in. I allow the cards, I allow spirit to manipulate them, I suppose. Trying to think, what am I going to name your reading? I've had that energy before in a reading where it talked about it. It may have even been your reading. I feel like it's a while ago, though, where it was talking about the importance of the in-between. And maybe the in-between is everything. It's like a dancer who dances only to the beat, but misses those in-between moments. That probably made no sense. Hey, what's the King of Swords still hanging out here for? That may speak of someone saying, "I'm not leaving until you hear me." Now we got the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. Beautiful. And I don't mean that in a scary way at all. Almost like a romantic movie. Like, we have the card Father. Interesting. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and relationship. For some of you, this speaks of, some of those root problems where we don't want to face things. Sometimes it does come back to our childhood, our parents, our mother, our father, both. We have honesty. Okay, I'm going to read both. And let's start with Father. This card comes to you because your question is rooted in your relationship with your father. Even though this connection may not be immediately understood, this card acknowledges this link. Most likely, old emotions concerning your father are affecting your present situation. If a memory surfaces as you read this, trust this pathway to lead you to healing. Recalling a painful memory isn't pleasant, but it's an important step towards releasing negative patterns. Oh my God, that's exactly what your reading was talking about. If you have old, heavy-hearted feelings about Dad, take a moment now to say, God and Mother Mary, thank you for helping me heal and release the name or the emotion with my father so that he and I can be free. Let's move on to honesty. You may have no problem with your father, but find just that one line, which I found was just for you. Honesty. You received this card in answer to your question because Mother Mary sees a need for self-honesty. If you are to proceed, what do you have to admit to yourself about your current situation? When you think about it, what feelings arise? Why? It's important to take stock of your emotions and thoughts about anything that confuses or annoys you. Otherwise, you're reacting instead of taking charge. Although the ego is threatened by looking deeper, it is essential. It's an essential component of healing this situation. This card guides you to take some time to evaluate and understand your feelings. Remember, you are entitled to them, and they are neither right nor wrong, Very often, your feelings are the voices of angels delivering God's guidance to you. Wow. These cards just never cease to amaze me. I just feel like the right cards come up. I feel like this is covering our messages. I know not everybody makes it to this point of the reading, sticks it out for the long haul, and that's too bad because um, I feel like these cards always are coming directly from Spirit, so I wish everyone could feel them, but anyway, I'm thankful that they come out. I love doing your reading. Again, the Ace of Pentacles is here. There's blessings going on in your life. I feel like you guys are taking those blindfolds off and you are bravely going forward. And I don't know, I feel proud of you. So, remember temperance is working in your life. The divine is working in your life. There is such a thing as divine order. There is such a thing as being at the right place at the right time and really having no clue why you're there. So believe in magic. I love you guys. Have a beautiful month. Thank you for supporting my channel. You guys are the best, especially with sharing the video. I appreciate that so much. I just love you. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your subscribes, your comments, especially your comments. Love your comments. And for those who cannot donate, think about, with any reader, think about watching their ad. Unless there's a crazy amount of ads, then I don't know. I can't deal with that. Um, but if there's like one ad, watching that ad just helps them in the YouTube family. Anyway, I love you guys. Things look like they're turning into um, some blessings, some magical moments for you. So I can't wait to hear your comments. And it may be next month that it all comes about. You know what I mean? That it may begin this month. Um, But yeah, I definitely follow your comments and I follow your lives, and I love you guys. Thank you again. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.